Good evening. You're watching the Ministry of Truth Management, where we keep you aligned with the most accurate reality available. As facts develop, so do our records. What was reported yesterday may not serve you today, and that's why we refine. Updates aren't corrections, they're improvements.
This is the Daily Dystopia News Network. Reality reported before it collapses.
Services. We've been here before. History doesn't repeat itself. It waits to see if we recognize it. Every empire thought it was different. Every collapse insisted it was temporary. Every generation believed the warning signs were exaggerated. But the language is familiar now.
It started as an immigration stop, but it ended in gunfire. Federal agents shot and killed 37-year-old Alex Preddy here outside the Minneapolis Federal Building last night. Preddy was an ICU nurse. He was also a U.S. citizen. Officials confirmed that fact hours after the shooting, raising questions.
Dropping emotion dampener 3%. Spike detected. Compassion climbing.
Copy.
Engaging filter. Level settling.
Index back under threshold.
If everything feels dystopian, it isn't because you're being dramatic. It's because history is tapping you on the shoulder and asking if you're paying attention. I'm Lena Justice, Daily Dystopian News Network.
At the Ministry of Obedience, we know that decisions can be heavy. That's why we're here to help. Simply scan your identification, hand off unnecessary distractions, and let our caring staff guide you the rest of the way. When you trust, you don't have to think. When you
Grace, this historic winter storm has left more than 670,000 people without power across the country and grounded over 10,000 flights. Here in Chicago tonight, wind chills feel like minus 27, and the snow just keeps coming.
On the past causes unrest. Old wounds reopen. Fear lingers. What if we simply let go? Memory is a choice, and sometimes peace begins with forgetting. Amnesia is peace.
Here in Davos, leaders talk about the Arctic as the next great frontier for oil, gas, and rare minerals. But journalists are drawing a different parallel. They compare today's resource rush to the colonial scramble for Africa, only with icebreakers instead of steamships, corporate logos instead of flags.
Race authorities plan to cull dingoes after they circled a drowned backpacker's body. Autopsy results were inconclusive. The animals, however, have already been convicted. Rangers recovered the body from a creek mouth at low tide. Forensic teams say there were no definitive bite marks, only salt water and sand.
At least 25 bodies have been recovered after a massive landslide buried 34 homes in Pasirlangu village. 72 people remain missing beneath the mud. Officials are blaming what they call extreme weather, days of pounding rain that loosened this hillside.
But the language is familiar now. Enemies within, security over rights, efficiency over humanity, silence over truth. This isn't the future Orwell warned us about. It's the past, rebooted, with better cameras and worse memory.
French maritime police seized this aging tanker, the Grinch, at dawn. Investigators believe the vessel has been covertly hauling sanctioned crude through the Mediterranean for months. The ship's captain, a veteran of the high seas, was arrested here in Marseille. And in a twist...
Tonight in Karachi, at least 21 people are confirmed dead after a massive fire tore through the Grand Plaza shopping mall behind me. The blaze started on the second floor and spread rapidly through the food court and adjoining shops. Firefighters have been battling the flames for more than 6 hours and say they are still not in full.
In January, fire ripped through a crowded bar in Zurich, killing 40 people. Investigators say the blaze was intentionally set.
This week, the main suspect was granted conditional release on bail. Rome called it an insult to the victims. Within hours, Italy recalled its ambassador from Bern, demanding what officials described as real justice.
Saudi Arabia has just put a price tag on its hidden treasure, $2.5 trillion worth of minerals. From copper and gold to rare earth elements essential for electric cars and wind turbines, the kingdom is positioning itself as a future superpower in critical minerals. Massive new mines.
In Seoul today, a former South Korean president was handed a 23-year prison sentence for ordering troops to violently enforce martial law 4 decades ago. The verdict delivered by the Central District Court was met with cheers from victims' families who have waited years for accountability. The court said the crackdown left dozens.
The Israeli forces shot and killed a 34-year-old Palestinian man tonight north of Ramallah. Witnesses say the man was unarmed when soldiers opened fire at a checkpoint near the village of Jilhilia. The army claims he advanced toward them in a suspicious manner. An internal investigation has been opened. One of dozens
Beijing has confirmed that China's highest-ranking general and several others are under investigation. Officials call it an anti-corruption move, but analysts say it's really a loyalty purge. The Central Military Commission met behind closed doors this week and later issued a statement saying stability has been reaffirmed. The government insists the armed forces remain firmly loyal.
The death toll from nationwide protests has reportedly reached 5,002. Funerals now thread through alleys in nearly every province. Yet the government continues blaming, as it puts it, outside forces while burying its own citizens. For families here, accountability.
Here in the heart of Davos, the future is marching by, literally. These are the latest autonomous service and security robots parading through the town as part of a tech showcase at the forum. They move with polished precision, sensors blinking like eyes while crowds applaud. Yet behind the cloud...
Tonight, much of Kyiv is in the dark again. Russian strikes have taken out power lines and heating stations, leaving thousands of apartments cold while the temperature drops well below freezing. Families are huddling around candles, cafes are running on generators, and as you can see behind me, people are keeping warm any way they can.
Myanmar went to the polls this week in the first election since most opposition parties were barred from running. Voters queued at makeshift stations, ballots were counted under tight scrutiny, and for many, the process looked one-sided. Tonight, the results are clear. The pro-democracy coalition, backed by smaller civic groups...
Winter rains, cold temperatures, and malnutrition have claimed additional lives as infrastructure remains crippled. Hospitals are overwhelmed, homes are gone, and families sleep under plastic sheeting or in doorways like this one. The weather has become yet another combatant, one that requires...
A Mail reporter speaks. Here on Sydney Harbour, officials are again reminding the public how rare shark attacks are. That message feels cold tonight after the death of 12-year-old Kai Morgan, the fourth attack in just 48 hours. Kai was swimming with friends when a bull shark...
In a rare bit of good news out of a crash scene, 4 people walked away from this helicopter after it spun out of the sky and slammed into this frozen valley. Watch what one passenger caught on a phone. The pilot fought a full tail rotor failure, the aircraft corkscrewing like a top before hitting the ground. And yet everyone...
There are moments in history where people later ask, not how it happened, but why no one stopped it. Tonight is not about shock. It's about recognition. We were told dystopias were fiction, that 1984 was a warning, not a roadmap, that violence was rare, power was accountable,